one.
There it is. Good. Okay, so today, again, I think someone is getting married, but good thing this time I do not have to attend the ceremony or anything. So that's relieving. And that's also spoilers because the tablet, if I remember correctly, is about someone getting married. No, I haven't looked at it in like weeks, so I can't be certain, but I think that's the case. All right, so this is the first ditilla that we do. Now, I haven't really planned a big introduction to ditillas. They're just like juridical texts, and ditilla translates, it can be translated as, I don't know, completed legal deal, legal solution found, something like that. It's basically when you have like a legal problem and you go through it, not just a problem, just something that needs to be um, taken to court, I guess. That can be a marriage or some sort of dispute. And then at the end, you get it solved. Now, a cool thing about the Tilas is that they tend to appear, I think, around the time of Shulgi, so Ur-3 dynasty. And we don't really know when Sumerian like started being a minority language, nor when it died as a spoken language. But if the Ditila are written in Sumerian and not in Akkadian, then that is some solid evidence for the notion that Sumerian might have been a lively language at the time of Shulgi, which is something, I guess. And with that, I say we can begin with the first line. Now, I propose someone else did the transliteration, but I think it's not the case. Maybe we can do it next week. And for this time, I'm just going to do it. Now, I did put some signs and stuff. I hope you read through them. This should be interesting. But yeah, let's look at the first line.
First one is easy. It's ditilla.
Good.
Which basically, if we want to, we don't want to do grammar yet, huh? Or do we?
I say we can. Yeah. For now,
I'm assuming that the final A there is essentially some way to make the verb into a participle, like a decided or completed legal decision.
so the base would be til, which is to live, but also to be complete or completed in this case. So something that is a legal decision that has lived its day is over and done. So
Okay.
the D does have a auslaut in D, so we're just gonna do did. Sometimes exiting consonantic sounds are not written, so did and til. So we're just gonna mark everything like usual, and then the which would be a ham to participle, I guess. We can do the translation later, but yeah, the grammar is pretty clear with this one, I think. Now, the next line is absurdly weird. I think it's just very much compact and unpleasant. But let's start with this bad boy. So sometimes, and this is more, I think, an Akkadian thing than a Sumerian one, you have this I think they're called ash signs or dish signs, which come before.
Yeah, M sign.
Yeah. That's the
Personal name.
Yeah, it's a personal name, and I say they can be understood as the terminus, basically.
Yeah.
And since they're personal names, I mean that they stand for personal names, and in Sumerian name is Mu, they are most usually like transliterated with either M, Mu, or just one. In this case, I think, yeah, Volk goes for one, so I'm gonna do the same thing and just no, never mind. I'm on my way. I'm gonna put M because I can, because this is my class. So yeah, let's just treat it as a determinative for names. Now, the thing is, it doesn't really happen with the other names, so perhaps it's just a clear indication that this is the first personal name, and then maybe a list is to follow or something.
Hayes says that it's often used only with sort of the main character.
Yeah.
of an event or a document. So it denotes the person whose case is the focus.
Right.
Interesting. Mm.
Good old days.
And he
Expanding.
also says that it's often in the literature it's called a Personenkeil.
Yeah, Personenkeil.
Sonnenkeil. Everybody should have one. I mean, you can throw that at people if they're obnoxious. Sorry, those stone axes from like the I don't know from the Stone Age, right? They are called Faustkeil in German.
Why Faust?
Faust because fist, because they would have been held.
Oh, okay, right.
The fist basically like to hammer on a bone on
Exactly.
a
I was
Something
thinking of
like
Dr.
Panzer
Faustus.
Faust. Yeah,
Say again?
Panzer Faust. I just saying it's a proper name anti-tank in World War II. Panzer Faust.
Oh, Panzerfaust. Yeah, right. That's Faust. It's the same word, fist. You're right, Panzerfaust. So in any case, so the moment when you say like Personenkeil, I basically think of that motion.
All right. Still talking about pacifism. This is a heart.
Yeah,
So,
obviously.
right. I mean, you can see the ventricles and stuff, so it's gotta be a heart, right. So
So
let's
that's Shak or Sha3, I think.
Yep. Now I don't think it's important, but I'm just gonna put SHA-3 because it's widely more common. And then what do we have? What do we have?
That's a shoe.
Good. So this is again a very fingery hand.
Yes. Alien anatomy here.
Right. And now we have something that we don't really see very often. Now I think I put it in the gloss.
Yes, you did.
Thankfully, you did.
Unfortunately for us, you glossed it as a Ningen 2, I think.
I'm gonna have to retrieve the funny G again. Beep. There we go. So Ningen, do you know what that means? Did I put it in as well?
No, you didn't.
Oh, okay. So Ningen was, I think, in the beginning, in its primal stages, it was actually a circle, and it means to go around.
Ah,
So it's like the heart and the hand that go around. We're gonna see that later on.
yeah.
So here is where the troubles, I think, begin. Like,
But as the initial sign shows, this is a name, right? So we don't, I mean, the name itself doesn't really need to make sense for us, as long as we know it's the name of a person.
right. Yeah, that makes sense. Although I think the etymology under this one is quite clear, actually. Shashu Ningen is heart, hand, go around. So moving the hands, moving the heart, we can't really stay with certainty what that stood for, what kind of what they meant with it, but I think it's quite clear that it has to do with body parts. However, this sign is not part of the name. It's something else. Let's see if it's clearer from the... No, okay. I don't... Yeah. Not really. Yeah, it is, I guess. I think I could expand this. So this is a Dumu. Yeah, it's very not clear.
Yeah, it's Dumo.
It's a rather malformed Dumu.
Yeah, it's a really bad one at that, but I guess we could do this. And...
Maybe there is so much nepotism in Sumerian scribal society. It's very bad.
Well, that's one way to look at it. So they did a bad job because
you see it so often, you have to abbreviate it, right? I think that really makes some sense. But yeah, I struggled with that one too. I couldn't make sense out of that at all.
it's really weird, as I said. So that's a Dumu. Then what do we have? This is more, well, defined.
Yeah, that's Utu
Yep.
means grass, I guess.
Yeah. It does mean grass, I think. It's got quite a few meanings, but yeah, the main one is grass. Now this is also a grammatical case ending, if that can help.
Yeah, that's shear 3.
Okay. Now, okay. Now
That one's a
this
bit
one.
easier.
Aha, that's the one that looks like Pac-Man. It's Chetu. It's
Right.
like a mouth that's eating. It's so easy to remember because it has such a characteristic form.
Yeah,
Right.
cuneiform version of Pac-Man.
Yeah,
This is
Pac-Man beats.
Volk says there is a do sign between the. Never mind. Okay, no, never mind. I got it wrong. It's right here. Sorry. So yeah, it is the Pac-Man, I guess. It's got a few readings. Gum. Okay, too. But I'm just gonna use it. Okay. Now this. What I can say about this one is that it's a classic and it's got a lot of readings, and we're not gonna be able to determine which one it is in this context.
Right.
It has to do with movement.
But is that tu, tum, do, something like this?
Yep. So whenever we don't know, we generally just put do, and that's what I'm gonna do. And this would be the end of another name. Now it's fun because the verb always goes at the end in names as well. So when you have a verb, personal name that ends in a verb, and you know that after the verb there's probably nothing unless it's nominalized. Okay, what's next? So then we have.
Wait, there's one more sign, isn't there?
Well, there are these two still. Well, I just gave you a big hint. This is not 3, this is 2. And I think I also included this in the glossary.
You did. You said that is unu.
Good.
Up to and ku becomes unu, meaning cowherd, according to your gloss.
Right. So ab, I think, has got to do with cows or cattle, and ku, to sit.
Two
So,
quick things. Ningin should be ningin too, right?
right. You're absolutely right.
And up to is also up to with a two.
Yep. There we
Perfect.
go. Is it unu 2 or unu 3? No, this one is a rare one. So
3, I think, is what you had.
yep. Oh, it's also unud. So there's a V. Actually, we should put it at unu 3 and then write unud at least. So I say we can wait, and then we do the grammatical consideration and analysis. Sorry, just the analysis, translation we have just done, and the translation. So let's go on to the next line. This one is again very common in like personal names. Happens very often.
So that's ur, isn't it?
Right. Ur. And then the ur of what?
Some kind of god.
Right. So some kind of dingir.
Urna.
No, this is another god. Now I think this one I have included.
It's Nanshe.
Good.
Urnaşe.
A dream interpreter.
Right. Now we have very beautiful signs again.
Yep. That's our nepotism Dumo again.
Yeah.
Right. Now we have
Nepotistic. Yeah.
Oh, nepotic Dumo, yeah.
This one is
This is, what is it? Let's see.
best.
That's a bar, is what my notes say. But
Right.
I wouldn't have known that. I mean, now that I know, I see it, but geez, that bar got into
Yeah.
a traffic accident. Crumple zone.
Chariot accident.
She or limb. I don't know.
Good, that's a sheep.
Yeah.
This one is a tree
Is
one.
this yeah?
Very weird readings on the time. Now this one we have already seen.
We had already. That is
That's SHA-3
Sha.
again.
SHA-3.
Followed by
There's a Ra.
Ra. Is that Ig, or what is that?
You said it reverse.
Gi.
Right. And then the
Hey,
big old
there's a
what?
kid.
Yeah.
That sounded very melodic. Right, it is indeed a K, so we know that it is probably the agent.
So now we know who's doing the marrying.
Right. And what comes after the agent?
Ba.
Yeah, well, the verb, yeah.
Oh, the verb, of course, yes. So that's ba, and then that's not dingia, but it's an,
Right.
because this is a verb form. You don't have dingia in the middle of a verb form.
Right.
And then, could you scroll a bit?
Sure.
That's tuku.
Correct. Which means to
To-
marry.
to- Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Dum.
What does to mean? Is smite or something like that?
Tuku means to have. However, to have oneself a person is to have a person for oneself is to marry. So tuku is
Okay.
marrying in this context. And we have, wow, beautiful sign again.
Igi, or she, or lim.
Yes.
Come on, make a choice.
Is there another possibility?
If you want.
I mean, just Rasmus said Igi Shilim, another one.
Yeah, you can throw it in the mix. In Italian, we say non c'è due senza tre, so there is no two without three.
There's our friend D again, isn't it?
I do think so.
But it has an odd wedge sort of going downwards to the left that it didn't have before, doesn't it?
I think that might be just Volk being
Yeah, okay.
this, it's part of
He's a bit too eager with his wedges.
Yeah.
And now you had glossed this one. That was Diku, make a judgment in total. Cut the verb.
To carve a judgment.
Now Diku what? Diku, was that a ne afterwards?
Right.
Ne 2, isn't it? No, it's just plain ne, sorry.
Yeah, it's ne 1. This one is very weird. It's a
no, the nice thing
it's like yeah.
And
this again.
There's a she, which is nice because that explains that it's really an Iggy at the beginning. Iggy plus
Right.
she in front
Yeah,
of.
Iggy she, yeah.
So that makes sense. What did they do in front of the Dikune?
So that's a mu.
Right.
And then would you scroll a bit? So that's a lugal.
Right.
Is that ga?
Sure looks like it, but it's the other one. If it's not ga, it's usually B.
Okay, right.
And then so this is to be read all together.
Yeah. So that's in.
Right. Now this
And that's so this is tricky because it's igi ru,
right.
who together have to be read as pa or pat, I think.
Right.
Pat 3 perhaps. I'm unsure. I always mix those up.
Oh yeah, I'm not the best at remembering what pa is which. Yeah, igiru, which decomposed is I and then to I think either splash or immerse. So to immerse the eye, and it means to show or to illustrate usually, but here it takes on a different meaning with pa and yeah, so pa 3, good, or pad.
Or
And then we
pat
have
3. And then that's ish.
right, which is just ooh. I think I glossed it as well.
Yeah, it's the yeah.
Sounds really.
Because U is 10, so.
Yep. Ooh. 7.
Was that an ur again?
Yep.
It is an ur. It's an ur followed by a dingir.
Right.
And the next one.
Rasmus said it a few minutes ago, and I corrected him saying it was the opposite.
So it's ig.
Right.
The next one you had glossed for us, I think. Wasn't that the bison thing? I didn't know that bisons lived in Levant. Okay, but in any case, it's Igalim.
Right.
Okay.
That's a monstrous sign.
Yeah, that's another nepotic Dumu.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do we have?
Lu.
Lu 2.
Right.
The next one, Lu Mu. That's easy. And then comes Pa Kash 2. No, Kash 4, which you had glossed as Mashkim. Commissioner.
Right.
Is that a loan word or?
Probably. The thing is, it's not from Akkadian as far as I know. Let's just see if it's got a Akkadian.
It's the M at the beginning. Mashkim, I mean, that like so many nouns are being formed with an M in Semitic, so that made me think.
Rabisu in Akkadian. So no, it doesn't have a
complete different word.
However, there are a few, well, not a few actually, quite a few job names and polysyllabic nouns that do end in im. And Jackson, as well as some other authors, argue that most, if not all, Sumerian words, like autochthonous Sumerian words, are in fact monosyllabic. So this suffix in, which seems to be, well, not really productive anymore by the time that Sumerians started writing in Sumerians started writing in Sumerian, might be a loan from some other substrate language, which we don't really know of. There's a few nouns, like few professions and things like that end in im. For example, a cook is mochaldim, etc., etc. So I think this could be cataloged as a possibly exotic word. So we don't really know the etymology of it.
Is mukhaldim a long word or something like that? Because I just it is so long.
Yeah, exactly. Most likely. So the thing about Lumu, it's probably Lungu. It's the same sign. It's just that Lugu, my man, makes more sense than Lumu, man of the year, unless they were playing basketball. I don't know. but
Okay.
but in earlier literature they have Lumu instead of Lu, so no problem. So yes, Mashkim, which is again a compound, isn't it? It's pa plus something, if I remember correctly. Pa,
That's right. Pa Kash 4.
yeah. Good. So commissioner, right? Something like that. Good. Now, what do we have in here? This one, yeah.
So it's Lutu again, and then Dingir.
I think I had it lost as well.
What's the last one? Oh, you glossed it, perhaps.
Yep.
Right. So it's Shara 2.
Mm-hmm.
Lushara. I recall this because I think Hayes said that Lushara appears in several Ditillas.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember reading that as well, actually. Might have been some sort of judge or influential individual. Dushara. But yep, so that concludes the line. And then we have a very...
So that's Ur.
Yep. I think we have seen this already, or haven't we? Never mind, we have not. There's another one.
Ur Dingir.
Yep.
And then you've glossed this one as well in your glosses for Volk.
I think it's Ishtaran, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yes, it is. Kadi means Ishtaran.
Right. I think I had included the etymology as well when applicable. So we're going to look at that after.
I forgot. What was it again? Here. Ishtaran, possibly of. Oh, yes. You said there could be an Akkadian dual added on to Ishtar.
Yep.
Which is interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Minor deity, I think. So, next line.
Next one starts with a Lu again.
Right.
Lu Dingire. Why not anything else? Because it ends in a race, doesn't it?
Yeah, that would be a
I'm sorry, not today.
No
Dingire.
problem. Yeah, correct. So we are done. Never mind, we have another one. There's, yeah, tablet number 2.
So that's a D-Kur. D2 Kur.
Right. The D2 or is it D just?
Sorry, I thought that was D2. Am I
Oh,
misremembering this?
no, probably not.
No, you're right. It's just D.
Okay,
You're right. It's just D.
no problem. What do we have here? This one again looks like a ga, isn't a ga.
It's a B.
It's a B.
Okay, it's a somewhat misformed B.
This is oh
This has to be
Oh.
May because of your gloss.
oh okay.
You had a
Yeah.
gloss where you said it could be men, it could be mesh.
Right. Yeah, because there's okay. What do we have
Wait,
next?
there's
Next
more. Yeah.
So
So this
that's
is
huge space.
yeah. Why did they leave the space? Because this is something else. This isn't like pertaining to the text, to the what happened in court. This is just the dates. So from I think again from the Ur 3 dynasty onwards, I think. They start keeping track of the dates, well, years and stuff, and every year would get the special name, depending on what happened of relevance during that year. So I think we can leave it for later. We can focus on the real happening in the text, and then we see what year it is. So I guess we can go up and yep.
Okay, well, so you made it really much easier by removing the number one in the beginning and making that into the determinative. So it becomes just Sha Shu Ning Yin. It's just a name. I mean, what you gonna do with that?
Okay.
Dumu Ushehedu Unu. So the child of Ushehedu Unu. Ushehedu, the what was Unu? Cowherd. The cowherd.
So Shashu Ningin, the son or daughter.
So that's what I'm saying, child.
Exactly, the child of Ushehedu, the cowherd, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Good. Because in Sumerian, you do have Dumu, and you also have like Dumu Dam, something like that, like child woman. So it means daughter, but it's really a specific term. It's not really widely used. They just say Dumu for both. Okay. Then what do we have? Well, this is easier again. But the thing about Nanshe is that it probably originated as Nanshe. And since in Akkadian, this is a problematic, so to say, couple, it usually gets contracted into Nashe. That's why you find it as both, because the N is usually changes to whatever consonant comes next, if it's like Z, Sh, or normal C's and stuff. So it's really fun because we also have the reading as Nazi. But yeah, we don't.
It seems to me that the Semitic languages in general are really fond of assimilating an N to a following consonant.
Yeah, in Akkadian, it's really present from Old Babylonian already, and causes a few problems because you have conjugations in which you have to add a sh infix. So if you have a verb that starts with N, it just changes to sh, and it's hard to recognize the verb then. But yes, so son of whom? Vashisharagi. Yeah. It's probably a name. Is it?
Question on that.
Yeah, exactly. The thing here looks sus.
Yep. I mean, the K could just be exactly a genitive, and then followed by an ergative.
Yep.
Yes.
That is most likely, yeah. Because
So,
some names do end in K, but not this
sure.
line of them.
We don't know, yeah.
So I think I would keep it at that.
Very good.
Actually, oh yeah, okay. Nice. Right, what do we have here?
He had for himself.
Right. So we know that Sumerian has like this weird relationship with passives, and the ba is just, it implies that the action goes to the benefit of the doer. So it's not a real passive, it's just a, can be translated for himself or themselves, stuff like that. So married. Good. So that we are done too. Now, this construction, I think Volk talks about, Igi and then She.
In front of.
Right.
Or before.
What is Diku? Dikud would be the judge.
It's more than
And-
one, so it's the judges.
Right, but it's ne. And then you have a case, a she, which is terminative. So how do you translate that, I guess?
Yeah, in front of the judges.
Yeah.
Which explains the whole list of names that come later.
Right. Well, not yet, not yet. We have something here.
Oh, yes. Sorry. You're right. So mu can be here or can be name. Here it's name.
Mhm.
And pa is to swear, isn't it? So.
Yep.
So the name.
Let's
Wait,
look at the verb. We have pa being, which is probably the object. And then we have inpash. So e is again the conjugational prefix. So we just do that. Then we have an n, which is at its place, I guess. A conjugational prefix for the ham to conjugation. Then we have the verb itself, which is pad. Then we have an ash. Now we know that n plus ash means something, and it stands for the third person plural. Sorry, someone wanted to say. Right. So the subject has to be plural, which makes sense because you don't marry yourself. And if you have to make a note in front of the judges, you probably do it with your partner, I guess.
I don't actually. I don't. But
Well, you want to marry yourself.
ultimate narcissism.
And
nobody else
I
is good
don't.
enough.
I don't think. But yeah, someone think probably. I don't know. Maybe Western part of the world. I think it will come in the next 20 years.
Marry yourself? Oh, the Vatican wouldn't really.
Think of all
I
the
think
money you could save.
Western part of the world, maybe, yeah, Western Europe or something like, I don't know, North America.
Are we going to be out of people and you'll have to marry yourself? I don't want to imagine that scenario. So, mu lugalbi. Now, this is a funny construction. So the thing is, mu lugalbi. What does that mean? If it were to swear in the name of the king, you would probably have mu lugal ak. But why
What
is
is the B stands for?
it is a possessive suffix. So the thing is, we have a ak after the mu, and this is a headless genitive.
Right.
Why? Because, well, it's not clear, but probably to put the emphasis on the mu rather than on the luga. So it is on the name of the king that they swore. So we have this. So it is a case of headless genitive. In pub ash. So they swore on the name of the king. Now, mu here is, of course, a direct object. So on is an English fabrication, but we don't use a locative for that. The Sumerian. Now we have a long list of names, don't we? You guys alive?
Let's just get them out of the way. So Uri Galim, we just leave the way it is. Son of or child of, what's the name? Lungu, we said.
Yep.
Lungu, the commissioner.
Right. So Ur Alim, son of Lungu, the commissioner.
Then comes the man of Shada, Lushada. The man of Ishtaran.
Right.
We don't get to hear who they are. They're just mentioned.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tentacle
Woody
name.
Allen gets a title.
Well, maybe there are two. There's Lungo, the commissioner, and Lungo, the street sweeper. And we just want to make sure it's the right Lungo.
Yeah.
Ludingira. Ludingira.
Mhm.
Who are they?
They
Genghis.
are its judges.
Right.
Is the Ra at the end of the name, personal name, is
So it's
it
the
is
genitive.
part of the name or not a part of the name? Because something like Kadingirra, something like
It's,
Babylonian of
it's the genitive. So the name for Babylon in Sumerian is the house of the gods. So Dingiram.
something like maybe Dingirrak.
No, Ra is fine. Ra, yeah, Rak. I guess.
I mean, it is the part of the genitive ak.
Yep,
Yeah.
it is.
Okay, get it.
No problem. Then we have the last line. We have it could be and then something, which is meh. Now we know that the third person plural is mesh, so the S is left out. And what would that mean?
They are its judges.
Right.
Now, why there? Because B is inanimate, isn't it? Hmm.
It is, but it can also be used for collective.
Oh, okay.
Like people, like collective peoples. Like if you have like a crowd or something, you can use the collective B. Kind of a
Mhm.
so it's judges. We could understand it as it's judges as in of the ceremony. So
That's what I thought. Yeah, exactly. Like,
But it could also I guess refer to the titilla in the initial line. So a completed case, and these are the judges of it, that is of the case.
Mhm. Yeah, for this reason, I guess it's fair to just keep it as they are. It's judges. So let's see. Okay, let me just go through the names. So Lu Mu, either Luak, man of okay, man of mine, my man. Yeah, we have already seen that. Man of Shara, this is again clear. Igalim, no, this is a fun god because as far as I know, a temple of another god was built. It had a really beautiful kind of door ornament with a bull or some ox, some bison, and they ended up worshipping the door because it was beautiful instead of the god of the temple instead. So then the door god came to be that way. Nashe, we know, the dream interpreter, and Ishtaran, again, Semitic ending an, written as verdict of the mouth, ka, and then the. So
look at that. The European bison, Bison bonassus. Um, heaviest land animal in Europe. Became extinct in much of Europe and Asia, surviving into the 20th century only in North Central Europe and the Northern Caucasian Mountains. Huh. So you'd never, now being brought back by captive breeding programs. You learn something new every day. So there are bisons, European ones. Interesting.
that makes me
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, in the past, actually, in Anatolia, they were crocodiles. They were crocodiles, lions, and mountain lions, something like. We, of it, we all think extinct, but a couple of months ago, we explore some zoologists explore a couple of mountain lions in the Anatolia, still living it. The actually main reason of it, Romans, because they, according to Cicero or something like that,
Hmm.
collecting all of the wild animal Anatolia to send Rome.
I'm back. I think I was. Can you guys hear me?
We
Yes.
can hear you. We're discussing
Okay.
Anatolian mountain lions
Right.
Yeah,
And crocodiles.
and crocodiles.
So we still have this part, but I don't think it's that important. We can go through it really
No,
fast
let's
if you.
take it.
what
All
is
right,
the Sumerian of crocodile?
I don't know actually. I should check. We can do it in 1 second. Let's just go through this. Oh, wait. So we know that it's on the base of years, so mu. Then we have, well, this is a name. I'll just keep it very simple. It's a Akkadian name. It's Dingir. And then it's Shutsoan in Sumerian, Shushin in Akkadian, I think. So Shushin. Oopsie. What did I do? Okay. And then what? And we have Lugal.
Mhm.
And what else? This looks like a mu again, but it's not. This is a single thing. It's Uri 5, so it's Ur
Ah,
with the key.
Urki. Yes.
Is that a
Yep.
Huh? It's a ma?
Yep.
Mhm.
Then we have the key.
Urimake. Yeah.
Uri Make.
K4.
Oh yeah, sorry. Ooh. Then what do we have? What do we have? This is a word. It's erected stone, naru. Now,
Wow, it's hard to read.
this is also the reason why we think that the do3 is a DRU sound, because the do has, it's also got the reading ru. So it's probably somewhere in between, or things of that sort. So naru.
Narua.
Right. This is it looks fairly different from what we're used to. Mach. This is just great.
Hmm.
Now this is well, this is N, so Dingir N, and then
Lil too, so it's Enlil.
Mhm.
right.
Another dinged. So
Okay. What is this?
I've
Okay.
looked the crocodile Sumerian version.
How is it?
It is a little bit interesting, yeah. It is something like Damshah.
Probably Semitic. Semitic, yeah. We can have a look at it.
Yeah,
In Sumerian, that sounds
it
Egyptian.
came from
Yeah.
Egyptian. I don't know.
But
Oh,
that's
really?
but wait a
Maybe I
sec.
don't know. But
In Sumerian, you're saying there's a recorded version in Sumerian?
yeah,
Huh. That is
yeah, it is the link. PSD.
Crocodiles.
it's in the EPSD?
Yeah, actually, if it is, yeah, EPSD, yeah. Damshah, he said.
I'm impressed. Damsha. Crocodile or hippopotamus?
Funny mix. What's
Damsha, maybe Tameseh.
But this is weird because I mean, Mesech, like you and I both know, is crocodile, and it later becomes Timsah, I think, as a loan word with having the article in front of it. But during the time when Sumerian was actively, I mean, I don't know, you wouldn't have an article then yet in Egyptian. That's much later. That's timing wise, it doesn't work out.
I don't know. Maybe it is it is from some text very
Late, yeah.
very late later.
Yeah.
Like,
Could be.
If you look at the EPSD, you can see that
maybe.
it's mostly attested in post-Old Babylonian times.
Yeah.
So that would be when Sumerian was no longer spoken natively. There is one
Probably.
Old Babylonian attestation, but yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean,
not native Sumerian for sure. That's probably where it came from.
It has to be a loan from Egyptian.
yeah.
All right. Let's conclude the thingy.
Right.
No, we're having too much fun with this. No, what's the end? Let's see. The end is that's a mu. Mu something do.
So we're using now do because it's a third person singular, but when it's plural, it's different sign, I guess. This is a ne, so mu ne do.
Mu do. Mm-hmm.
Great. And let's go through the meaning, I guess.
The year King Suen, or what's his name again?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shusuen, the
Shusuen.
king of Ur.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Shushin since it's Akkadian, I guess. But Shushin.
Shusin.
Oh,
The year that the Sushi King, yes.
Sushi king.
Something like Speed Monster.
There's probably a locative here in the year. Again, not sure about that, but since it's a vowel, you can never know. Shusin, the king.
Mm-hmm.
King of what?
Of Ur.
For
Okay.
and he's
I'm just
kind
gonna
of
do
he's kind of ergativity. What's the adjective for this? He's kind of ergative about it.
Yeah, he's ergative about it. Kind of ergative about it.
Mm-hmm.
Of Ur.
A great stealer.
Yeah. Na is rock. Ru is to erect. And A is the nominalizer. So erected stone.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So great. Of and Lil. And
Unless that has to be read with the Ra following it.
I think so that the Ra belongs to for and lil and lil. Yeah, you know what I mean.
oh yeah, sorry. For and Lil and Nin Lil. Yeah, shouldn't be going this fast. And Lil. Nin Lil. No case here.
Mm-hmm.
Of Ra. Dative. Mu.
Dative.
Right.
Now, me being stupid, Munadu versus Munedu.
Ne is the plural.
Right, but who is they in this case?
Enlil and Ninlil.
I thought they're the beneficiaries.
Yeah. Ne is the plural dative, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes, of course. Thank you. You're right. Mm-hmm.
Doesn't appear very often, so it's easy to forget about it.
That's good. That's good. Right, because the ne is, of course, the dative. That's not the doer. That's the missing end.
No, the doer is the doer is reconstructed in.
Right.
Yeah. Good.
Very good.
tablet number 32. How many left? Let me see. By the way, I think we can stop recording and we have a little bit of chit chat about upcoming classes, I guess.
Sure. Let me hit the pause button
Right.
or stop button.